Man versus fat. No, this is not the name of some scary new eating fad. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's a website set up to expressly help men shift those extra pounds. But do men really need their own slimming clubs? Until now, they've always joined mixed health and fitness initiatives, but there's research to suggest they might fare better in single-sex groups. Well, male slimmer Andrew Shanahan is the person responsible for Man versus Fat, and Professor Kate Hunt of Glasgow University, also the Associate Director of the Medical Research Council, was behind a piece of this landmark research. Join me now. Hello to both of you.
Good morning.
Andrew,
Good morning.
Going to come to you first. Kate, I'll
Sure.
be with you in a moment. Why did you create Man v Fat?
Well, the genesis was quite simple. I got very fat. And as someone who'd put on a lot of weight, I was in a situation where I wanted to lose that weight. And what I found was that as I lost weight and I searched around for information and resources and support, I found that so much of it was focused on women. And there was a real gap in the market for support and help expressly for men. And it just really surprised me that there wasn't more there for men. You'd have thought in this day and age that would have been a no-brainer, essentially.
Psychologically, though, why do men need their own space, do you think, to lose weight?
Well, I'm sure Kate has ideas about this as well, but there's, men are very different biologically and psychologically, but also culturally. The way that men approach the issue of weight loss is hugely different from the way that women do. I mean, certainly...
How?
Certainly the realm of diets has become, I think, as Alison Avenel said in her research last year, it's a feminised space. It's, when you have Diet Coke that's expressly marketed at women, but Coke Zero that's marketed at men, it goes to show the sort of level of, gender influence that this has in terms of weight loss.
Well, let's bring in Kate. Kate, hello.
Hello there.
Your research, then, what did it find?
Well, we started off from a similar point in noticing both the increase in obesity in men was rising at a much greater rate than it was in women, but also this lack of facilities that specifically appealed to men. So most of the commercial or NHS services that were provided were being used far more by women, 3 to 4 times more commonly. So we wanted to try and develop a programme that appealed to men and evaluate that so that we had some gold standard evidence. So in short, we developed a programme which used the best evidence on what works for weight management, but we tried to think of a context that would specifically attract men. And so we set up men-only groups and delivered the weight management and healthy living programme through professional football clubs in Scotland, with the programme actually being delivered by community coaches who'd been trained over a couple of days to deliver the programme. And we then conducted a randomised controlled trial which demonstrated that not only that men were very attracted to coming along to the programme, but that the programme was really successful in helping them make substantial changes to their health and to lose weight during the course of the 12-week group-based programme, but also to sustain that weight loss up to 12 months later.
Andrew, you're listening to that. You've now got the evidence you sort of anecdotally thought was there, but is there. How do you broach the subject with a male family member that they're overweight? Do you think then we need to think about this also a little bit more carefully?
Absolutely. I mean, that's still always an awkward conversation. But one thing that we know about the way that men approach weight loss is that certainly with Man v Fat, that they actually appreciate this sort of overt nature of this is something about weight loss. They don't necessarily like the idea of, it being couched in euphemisms about slimming down or getting healthy. They actually quite like owning their own weight loss and having it out front. That men tend to
so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, men tend to have a less sort of sensitive approach in terms of they acknowledge that they're fat and there's less sort of pressure on them to do that. And I think that when they really start focusing on it, as Kate said, the results can be tremendous. And we're running a scheme at the moment with North Somerset. And, because we're very overt about the way that this is a weight loss group, we found, men are really, really flocking to it. There's a real demand for it. And
I do love on your website, Andrew, I was cruising around it late last night, that there's a picture of one of my favourite film characters, Don Corleone from The Godfather. I mean, if you're going to have a picture that appeals to men about how good you could possibly look if you wanted to shift a few pounds, I like the choice.
Absolutely. Well, they actually relate to we do a free online programme as well, because that's another area that we really think has got a lot of scope for approaching men.
Well, listen, good luck with it.
Thank you.
You're obviously proof of the pudding. Sorry, again, I don't know how I'm doing this. But Andrew Shanahan, thank you very much. And Professor Kate Hunt, thank you.
Thank you.